Please join me in Gasho. Naman Nobs, Naman Nobs, Naman Nobs, Naman Nobs, Naman Nobs.
Good morning, everyone. 皆さん、おはようございます。We will begin this June Shotsuki service this morning. With the Mokuso and a Shomyo. Mokuso is a sitting meditation, and Shomo is the recitation of Namo Amida Butsu.
Naman Nobs, Naman Nobs, Naman Nobs, Naman Nobs, Naman Nobs, Naman Nobs.
We will now have the Vandana and Tisarana. Please turn to page 325 in your purple seitan, and everyone please rise if you can.
It's also on the screen if you wish to follow by the screen. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Homage to him, the exalted one, the enlightened one, the supremely awakened one. Buddham saranam gacchami. I go to the Buddha for guidance. Dhamma saranam gacchami. I go to the Dharma for guidance. Sangham saranam gacchami. I go to the Sangha for guidance.
And then we will follow that with homages and kikyoma, which is found on page 10 and 11 in the same purple seitan.
Homage. Hard it is to be born into human life. Now we are living it. Difficult it is to hear the teachings of the Blessed One. Now we are hearing them. If we do not gain emancipation in the present life, we may not be free from sorrow in the ocean of births and deaths. Let us reverently take refuge in the three treasures. We go to the Buddha for guidance. May we always walk in the way that leads to enlightenment. Everyone? We go to the Buddha for guidance. May we always walk in the way that leads to enlightenment. We go to the Dharma for guidance. May we be submerged in the depth of the teachings and gain wisdom as deep as the ocean. Everyone? We go to the Dharma for guidance. May we be submerged in the depth of the teachings and gain wisdom as deep as the ocean. We go to the Sangha for guidance. May we all with one accord live the life of harmony in the spirit of oneness, free from the bondage of selfishness. Everyone? We go to the Sangha for guidance. May we all with one accord live the life of harmony in the spirit of oneness, free from the bondage of selfishness. Even through myriads of kalpas, hard it is to hear such excellent and profound teachings. Now we are able to hear and receive them. Let us try to understand the Tathagata's teachings. We're going to just read this in Japanese for those who read Japanese. 日本語で3期もいただきたいと思います。聖典の10ページ目になっています。人事受けがたし、今すでに受く、仏法聞きがたし、今すでに聞く、好み根性に向かってどせずんば、さらにいずれの章に向かってか好みをどせん、大衆もろともに指針に参謀に帰依し立て祀るべし。自ら仏に帰依し立て祀る。まさに願わくは主情とともに大道を体現して無常意を起こさん。自ら法に帰依し立て祀る。まさに願わくは主情とともに深く共造に入りて知恵海のごとくならん。自ら僧に帰依し立て祀る。まさに願わくは主情とともに大衆を通りして一切無碍ならん。無常人人未明の法は百千万号にも愛用ことかたし、我今検問し授事すること得たり、願わくは如来の真実義を下し立てますらんと。ナマンダウス、ナマンダウス、ナマンダウス。
Please remain standing, and we will now have the Gatha Shinshu Shuka. This is found on page 306 in your Seitan. Please be seated. Thank you. Sensei will now lead us in the Sambujo, which is found on page 89, followed by the chanting of the Sambutsuke on page 73. During the burning of the incense, I will be calling the names of your loved ones to come and please do shoko, or burn the incense.
Naman nobs, naman nobs, naman nobs, naman nobs, naman nobs. 本日ここにうやうやしく産物牽制の奨学を仰ぎ、慎みてスティーブステン仏教会2023年6月小月法要を言修す。如来へ向の真実心をもって本恩の誠をいたし、仏徳を賛嘆し奉る。願わくは如来の大慈大悲心をもって無量の功徳一切衆生の上に栄光を下回らんことを南無帰依仏、南無帰依法、南無帰依僧。This morning we have gathered here in the quietude of Amida's temple to commemorate the June 2023 Shotsuki monthly memorial service, in which we honor the memories of those who have passed on during this month of June. We faithfully recite the Nembutsu and humbly join our hands in Gassho. May the fragrance of incense teach us the purity of our intentions. May the beauty of the flowers offered remind us of the glory of the Dharma. And may the lights that burn brightly upon the altar lead our thoughts to Amida's eternal light of wisdom and boundless compassion that dispels the darkness of our ignorance.
Akizuki Lindsay. Asano Teisuke. Domai Toyokichi. Hamade Itsuji. Hamanishi Kiyoko. Hamanishi Yoshio. Hamara Sadame. Harada Tamei. Sorry. Harada Teiko. Hashimoto Kimie. 橋本マスオ、日々正す、引田恵美子、池田虎吉、伊藤美沙伊藤虎松、上出パツィ静子、刈谷常子、川本糸江、川崎浩一、菊池圭、小島健之介、小山福次郎、国母マイク、倉橋節代、倉本春夫ヘリー、倉本佳代、前田常吉、松永正美、松山八重子、森本バービー、森下英吉、森下千太郎、村上カレン、村上恒子、村松城、永田小代子、中川修一郎、中根和夫、 中野千佳西和美
ナマナスナマナスナマナス
西俊春
ナマナスナマナスナマナス
西井虎吉
ナマナス
岡野峰栄松坂田和恵坂田正蔵
95.
鮫島メリー
Click on it, it says mute.
清水光恵
So does he not mute the whole thing?
新出義治塩路雅子St. Helier Linda Mayumi 田畑美恵子谷晋三谷上富恵豊田茂ジェリー上山又吉和田和子山本義雄山中富蔵 Yoshida Troy, Yoshida Yoshiji. If anyone has lost a member of your family, other than here in Stevenson, if you'd like to do a shokuku, please. Thank you, everyone. Now we will have Sensei give his Dharma talk.
Good morning, everyone. 皆さんおはようございます。So nice to see so many of you out here. It seems like every Shotsuki we're getting more and more people coming out to the temple. So it's very nice to see you. And I'm sure for those of you who are here, it's a different experience than just joining by Zoom, isn't it? You get the smell of the incense, you get the sight of the temple, you get the audio of the chanting, and you also get taste. At the end, they serve tea, so you also get taste. So all your senses are involved, and that's actually what the service is all about. When the downside to Zoom is very good. It allows people to join remotely, but the downside is that you don't get all of that sensory interaction that you get when you actually come to the temple. And you also get to listen to my Dharma talk, which you can sleep through here at the temple and on Zoom too. But anyways, I'm going to just say a few words in Japanese and then follow that, give my talk in English. 日本語で一言お話しして、その後英語でお話しさせていただきたいと思います。皆さんようこそこの6月の正月法要にお参りしていただきました。この正月法要というのはもちろん亡くなられた方々を偲び、こうやってお参りさせていただいているわけなんですが、同時にですね、亡くなられた方々のおかげで、私たちはもう一度仏法と触れ合うご縁をいただいているわけなんですね。で、そこでですね、昨日の朝ですね、これもまた Zoom のワークショップだったんですが、朝にですね、このお寺っていうテーマで、これから先お寺にどうやって人が参られるようにすればいいかと。で、まず、これはですね、北米海峡区の赤星健二先生という方がワークショップを開いたわけなんですが、そのワークショップの中でですね、まずこの、 お寺にお参りする時の、特徴というか効果をもうちょっと言った方がいいんじゃないかと。で、何が得られるかと。まあ一つは癒される心、感謝の心ですね。私たちがこの仏法に出会わさせていただくことによって、生きとし生きるものと支えられて生かされている命があると、まあ阿弥陀様の働きに出会われて、生かされている命がある、尊い命があるということの感謝の心で、もちろんもう一つの特徴は、特典は法と出会うことですね。仏法と。でまた自ら自分を振り返って、観察することができると。今の自分の状況、またここに来ると周りの人と一緒になって手を合わすことができる。それによって一人ではない、すべてのものと一緒である、阿弥陀様と一緒である。そしてもちろん、宗教的にですね、このお念仏の見教えをいただくこと、こういう特典をですね、もうちょっと強調した方がいいんじゃないかという話を昨日されたわけなんですが、確かにですね、私たちが今先ほども言いましたけど、この Zoom で参加する、機械を通して参加することも当然できることはできるんですが、やはりですね、お寺に来ると先ほども言ったように、目でいただくこと、この美しいですね、お内陣、昨日もアクネ・ロイ先生が一生懸命ですね、お花を生かしていただいた。この目で見る、そして、鼻で聞く。この、お寺に入ると、お香の香りがしますね、漂います。中にはですね、このカナダのお寺の中でアレルギー反応のせいで、お香を焚かないお寺もあるらしいんですけど、私は、なるべくスティーブストンではお香を焚いてます。やはりこれも一つの荘厳といってお浄土を表しているわけなんですね。お香を焚くこと。そして、もちろん、耳でですね、みんなと一緒にこのお経を聞くこと、お念仏の声を聞くこと、こういうことはですね、やはりお寺にお参りしないとなかなか触れ合えないわけなんです。以前もお話ししたことあるんですが、この私たちのお寺に、時々、高校生たちが来ることがあるんですが、ある時ですね、依頼があって、日本からのホームステイの団体がですね、ここに寄せてもらいたいという依頼があったんです。で、その高校生、大体30名ぐらいいたんですかね。日本の同志社高校から、来られた、交換留学生ですかね。英語を学びに来てたんですけど、その子供たちがですね、みんなホームステイしてたわけなんですよ。その現地の方、もうおそらく白人の家族とか、そしてですね、大体このホームステイしてから2週間目ぐらいだったんですけど、お寺に来たわけなんです。そしたらですね、面白いことにその子供たちがお寺に入った瞬間、ああ、お香の香りだ、ああ、懐かしいと、ほっとしたわけなんですね。そしてここでちょっと、説明した後にその時はまだ体育館あったわけなんですが、その体育館でお茶を飲んだ時、ああやっぱりお茶はいいなっていうね、そういう癒し感っていうのがやっぱりお寺に来る効果があるわけです。またもちろん私たちにとってはこういう、阿弥陀様の働き、お念仏の見教えっていうのがいつでもどこでも自分の人生の中に働きかけていただいている阿弥陀様の働きに関して亡くなられた、多くの方々を忍びながらこの出会いに、手を合わさせていただき、感謝の心を持ってお念仏を唱えるのが大事ではないかという今日は、簡単ですが日本語の方はこれで返させていただきたいと思います。ナモ阿弥陀仏、ナモ阿弥陀仏、ナモ阿弥陀仏。 So if you didn't understand, please wake up if you were sleeping, dozing off. So some of you might be wondering, we had at one point separated the Japanese from the English services, but we noticed that, particularly with the Shotsuki service, many of our seniors who have been regulars coming to our service, they always come at the same time. So even if we separated it and said the Japanese service is from 11:30, they all come at 10:30. So that's why we decided we'll do Japanese and English combined at 10:30 so that at least I'm speaking some Japanese to them as well. So that's why we've gone back to this. Today we've gathered here for this Shotsuki monthly memorial service. And I'm going to just start my talk by reading a passage from the writings of Shinran Shonin, founder of Jodo Shinshu. And it's actually a very famous passage. Saved by the inconceivable working of Amida's vow, I shall realize birth in the Pure Land. The moment you entrust yourself thus to the vow, so that the mind set upon saying the Nembutsu arises within you, you are immediately brought to share in the benefit of being grasped by Amida, never to be abandoned. Know that the primal vow of Amida makes no distinction between people young and old, good and evil. Only shinjin is essential. For it is the vow to save the person whose karmic evil is deep and grave and whose blind passions abound. Thus, for those who entrust themselves to the primal vow, no good acts are required because no good surpasses the Nembutsu. Nor need they despair of the evil they commit, for no evil can obstruct the working of Amida's primal vow. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. So to begin my talk, I just wanted to share with you, I explained it in Japanese too. Yesterday morning, I was part of a Zoom presentation. The Reverend Kenji Akahoshi from the Buddhist Church of America was giving a Zoom presentation. And the talk was on membership in the Jodo Shinshu temples and how there seems to be a decline in membership throughout, and perhaps what are some things that we can do to encourage growth of people attending the temple. And one of the things that was mentioned was that we don't emphasize enough the benefits that we get from attending the temple. And one of the immediate benefits is, as I was explaining, is that, and I said this earlier, is that it involves all our sensory perceptions when we come to the temple, right? The moment you walk in the door, you smell the incense. And you come in and you see the beautiful altar. Roy Sensei yesterday was busy preparing our flowers. Every week he does a beautiful job of preparing the flowers for our altar. And so you get visual perception, and you also oral perception when we listen to the chanting going on. And there's such a different dynamic in listening to the chanting or chanting together in the Hondo. Zoom is indeed wonderful, but you don't get all of that when you're sitting at home. So coming to the temple is very important. And when we do come to the temple, we see like-minded individuals. In other words, some of you see friends that you haven't seen in years, and when you come to the temple and you see them, it's nice to catch up again. When I was a child, I used to go to the temple in Calgary, and my Dharma school teacher used to call us Buddha heads. He said, "You guys are all Buddha heads." And Buddha heads are just individuals that come to listen to the Dharma. So we get to meet people again that we appreciate. And we also get to encounter the Dharma. And so today, thanks to our loved ones who passed on in June, they have brought you all here. And hopefully you go out of here feeling something, whether it's a sense of appreciation or even learning a little bit about the Dharma. This past Thursday, I had, I went to visit a friend and I guess, I don't know if he still is a member, but a former member of our temple who was in hospice in Vancouver. And this person, I got to know him about 10 years ago. He started coming to our temple because he was diagnosed with terminal cancer. And at that time, the doctors only predicted that he might live only 2 years. And now it's past 10 years, but finally the cancer has turned for the worse. But what was interesting is that when he started coming to the temple, I used to meet with him on a regular basis. Every Thursdays, we would have a chat session, and he would come to the temple and learn a little bit about Buddhism, but we would just generally chat. And we used to do this for several years since he started coming. And he got very involved with the temple. He's helped out with Obon, and he even came on the temple board for a period of time. But one thing he mentioned when I visited him on Thursday that really struck a chord was he said, "Sensei, you know what? The nicest thing about coming to the temple was I was accepted as I am." And he said, he led a wild life when he was younger. And he said he wasn't the best of persons. He drank. I think he even did drugs at one point. But he said when he came to the temple, he was accepted just as I am. And he said that really, really made me feel welcome and at home and received and appreciated. And this is what the working of the Buddha is. Amita's teachings tells us that we are accepted just as we are. And that's really something quite remarkable. In Buddhism, we have many different schools, and depending on the school of Buddhism, there are different ways of practicing the Dharma. But majority of the teachings, they're very difficult. If you've heard of right now there's, I think, a little bit of well, I don't know if the trend still exists, but you may have heard of Vipassana meditation. These are retreats, and some of them are like 10-day retreats, no speaking, complete silence for 10 days. How many of you can go through that? Right. So that's even on the very easy end of things. There are practices that go on for years, dedicated for years. You've seen those Buddhist statues or carvings in the cliffs, like the Bamyan Buddhas that were blown up. Those were part of practices for those monks. Literally, they would spend their life carving. That is their practice. So if we were to say to you, you have to go through these very hard practices, it would be very difficult for us to follow. And in fact, the founder of our school is Shinran Shonin. Right? His scroll is up here to the right of the statue. He spent 20 years as a monk doing these very practices. And yet, he found the harder he practiced, the further he felt from enlightenment. And what he realized is that this was a very difficult path to follow. And so Shinran actually left the monastery, and that's when he encountered the true teaching of the Nembutsu. His teacher, Honen Shonin, was teaching that anyone could listen to this teaching. Anyone could receive the teaching. Anyone can be accepted just as we are, with all our warts. The compassion of the Buddha is so great that we are received just as we are. And as long as we listen, and we truly listen with our hearts, and we put our hands together, then we find peace and tranquility. And we find that there is a place that accepts us, and a place that helps all our ancestors, all our loved ones return to this place. And this is the working, what we call Amida's Pure Land. And it's not a physical place, but it's a state of being. And when we are accepted, when we realize that joy, that yes, there is something that's working upon us. Yes, there is something greater. And that is what Shinan expressed in this passage that I read. And I'm going to read it one more. Saved by the inconceivable working of Amida's vow, I shall realize birth in the Pure Land. The moment you entrust yourself thus to the vow, so that the mind set upon saying the Nembutsu arises within you, you are immediately brought to share in the benefit of being grasped by Amida, never to be abandoned. As my friend and the member who I visited on Thursday mentioned, it was so welcoming, and it is the best feeling to feel accepted just as we are. And so in gratitude, may I ask you to please join me again in Gassho. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Thank you very much.
We will just now offer the offertory.
Please join me in Gassho. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu.
Would everyone please rise now for the Gata Ondok-san, found on page 307. Thank you. Please be seated. This now closes the the June Shotsuki Memorial Service. And you will notice that in your programs that you received today, there are a number of coming events that you may want to check out. The Buddhist lecture series that Sensei is doing on Tuesday evening at 7:30, and then on the Sunday, the 11th, there would be the regular Sunday service. And our board members will meet on the 12th for the temple. And Tuesday, the 13th, will be the final Sensei's lecture series. Okay, now on 18th, Dharma service, regular service, and we have the Dharma School Father's Day picnic, if you are interested. And on the 25th, the following Sunday, we will have the temple cleanup. So if you are free, please join us. July the 1st, of course, is the Salmon Festival. And then the 2nd, we will have our July Shotsuki, or monthly memorial service. And that'll be at 10:30. And July the 8th, Saturday, Fraser Valley Buddhist Temple will have their Obon service. And then following that, on the 9th, we have our regular service, and the Vancouver Buddhist Temple will be holding their Obon service at 2 o'clock that day. And the weekend of the 15th, 16th of July will be our Obon service. And our guest minister will be Reverend Orai Fujikawa. Service, the Obon, the Notsuki no Kotsudo service is at 10:30 in the morning. 4 o'clock will be the Obon Rodi. And the service will be on the 16th at 10:30. And if anyone is interested, on the back of the program, you will find that the BC Dodo Shinchu Buddhist Temples Federation will be holding the Vancouver Island Obon Cemetery Visitation Tour. And we have a 12-seater for that trip, and we have, it's, I guess, first come, first serve. So if you might be interested, please let Sensei know. And we will be visiting the various temples. All the information is on the back, so if you're interested, please check that out. Now, this will end our service for today. So I would like to thank our Zoom members who have joined today, and we thank everybody for coming. The Fujinkai ladies will be serving tea at the back, so please join us. And when you leave, please remember to take your homyo, and please take the correct one. Thank you.
And you'll notice that there's displays up. This weekend is Doors Open Richmond, and we're part of that. So back in the lobby area, there's some displays up of the temple. Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Grant, Reverend Grant,
Yes?
would it be possible to tell everybody about the BC Jodo Shinshu Buddhist
Oh, the
Temple?
convention, yes.
Convention.
Oh, why don't you tell everybody? I'll put you up on the screen here, Muddy.
Okay, thank you.
There you go. You're on.
I am here from the Vernon Buddhist Temple, and we have the privilege of hosting this year's BC Jodo Shinshu Buddhist Temples Federation Convention in Vernon. It will be on September 24th and 25th, and our guest lecturer will be Reverend James Martin, formerly of the Calgary Buddhist Temple. And our theme is the Dharma of Pi, many ingredients make one. So our theme is all about what Reverend Grant talked about today, inclusion and acceptance in Buddhism. And Reverend Martin has said his lectures will be thought-provoking. So we hope that you will join us. We also want you to enjoy Vernon. So we have things like wine tastings and cidery tours and walks along Kalamalka Lake and all kinds of other extracurricular activities planned for you. We were able to get a very good deal on the hotels. It's $129 for double occupancy per night. So for all this information, if you could please either ask at your temple, or you can email Vernon Buddhist Temple, all one word, Vernon Buddhist Temple @gmail.com. And we look forward to hearing from you for registration. Thanks, everyone. Hope to see you here.
We are organizing a bus from the West Coast, so
Great.
interested.
That would be wonderful. And of course, we will be making our famous Okanagan homemade pies. And there'll be lots of fruit, and we'll be going to orchards. So do come and enjoy the Okanagan, as well as some very thought-provoking Dharma talks.
And posters are up in our lobby area if you're interested. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.
Thanks, Marty.
Thank you.
Bye, everyone. Thank you, everyone.
Yeah, thank you, Sensei. Yeah.
Thank
Bye.
you, Sensei. Bye.